Hello and welcome back. On the last episode we talked to Elwood and we had a... I guess we learned... well, I say we learned, we didn't learn anything really, but we did meet Bronya and we learned a bit more about their relationship, they're recently exes. Other than that though, I don't think there's anything much to comment on. So I guess we're continuing off on volume 6, I believe. Of text, of text NV green. Oh yeah, of text and NV green. I believe this is the first time in the other side, other option, there was 2 characters. Armed with your fresh heaps of hard-won cultural knowledge, you continue on your journey. Troll life sure is complicated, not to mention troll romance. You really aren't interested in getting into all of that. Your life is complicated enough, and adding an additional level of angst on top of that does not sound ideal. Friendship is about all you can handle right now. And boy, you do love to handle it. Just get your fingers all up in there and squish that stuff around. Kuprum and Folykl. Wandering deeper into the city, you wash up on the shores of what looks like a rougher part of town. Comparatively, everything on Alternia is rough, but down here the streets get narrower, dingier, the buildings get all run down, streetlights flicker, and the patrolling drones look less inclined to serve and protect, and more likely to shoot you and claim it was self-defense. You haven't seen any tracks, but if you had, this place would definitely be on the wrong side of them. Again, empathetically, you don't know what you're talking about. Everything you know has been gleaned from exceedingly painful trial by fire. But this looks like the sort of place no one cares about except for the people who live there. A noisy group of trolls spills onto the street up ahead, and you quickly duck behind a row of garbage cans. You have recently become gun-shy around groups, especially since most of these guys look fancy and are wearing symbols of varying shades of blue. Not to generalize, but blue bloods are starting to freak you out. Everybody here messes with you, but the higher castes do it with the government's sanction. These particular blue bloods all look as lost as you did several friends ago, gazing around in varying flavors of amusement and frustration. They glance nervously between each other and look loomingly the looming buildings on either side. Ha ha. Lol. With a hot jolt of adrenaline, you realize you aren't the only person hiding in this pile of garbage. There's someone else. 2 someones, actually. What you initially take as one large lumpy troll resolves on a second glance into 2 smaller trolls, a girl and a boy. The girl is clinging to the boy's back, like a very greasy sloth. It looks like a pretty precarious position. In your opinion, you recently become an expert on falling down. They both are skinny and stringy, and damn, you thought the smell was from the garbage, but it might be from them. Lol. Blues are just busy their pathetic lives, walking around out of their hives. Straight into our trap. Idiots never see it coming. You ask what if they meant the trolls out on the street. Probably you should just mind your own business. But when have you ever done that before? Also, it's nice to see someone beside you getting a box for once. You kind of want to join in on the mocking. Who the hell are you? Where'd you come from? A trash creature. Born out of trash, lol. Well, so much for not getting mocked. These 2 are probably equal opportunity mockers. Though. They mock everyone. kind of like Folykl has been with murder. They keep snickering. You can't help but thinking you're being called out. Cool. Time to save. Oop, and ignore. There we go. Time to stick up for ourselves. You put it to them offhandedly that perhaps it is they who are the trash creatures, since they are the ones who smell like they've been rolling around in it for the past few days. For some reason, this makes them laugh even harder. Kuprum, check out the badass we got here. My face when freaky Colbert Nerdlord talks back. Why don't you run and cry about it? Yeah, go and tell your Lucis on us. The girl tugs the boy's hair, and then they're off, crackling and running up the streets with a weird, stumbling gait. They leave you all in your lonesome, fresh friendship opportunities withering on the vine. You probably dodged a bullet, but you can't prevent on the outcoming. Oh, the oncoming? It's for the best. So we just have to take it, apparently. Take it lying down. You never thought about what a weirdly sexual idiom that is. Regardless, you decide to swallow your protests. Hey, that's pretty sexual too. Also, thanks English language. You don't want to start out a friendship with hostility. If you'd had parents, they would have told you two wrongs don't make a right. You could argue that it isn't worth trying to befriend people who open with insults, but that's just how people are here. You gotta roll with it, or get out of town. And since you literally can't go anywhere, you'll just roll. And you'll really want more friends. Addiction is a powerful thing. You admit that you don't have a Lucis, and that you're pretty used to the insults these days. You include the affected shrug, and to demonstrate just how easily everything rolls off your back. You add in a contrite little kick to the pavement and hang your heads, even if you aren't quite sure what you did wrong. Got a little rusty dunks on their own damn self. Don't have to do anything. This could be kind of relaxing for us. The girl turns this weird spider face toward you. You should come hang out. Wait, what? You want to hang out with this bottom feeder? They look like a huge drag. I already have enough dead weight with your behind to drag around. But man, you really hit the jackpot with these guys. Two friends for the price of one. To answer your earlier question that you may have forgotten you asked, Kuprum hacks their Husk GPSs to bring them down here. Idiots can't do anything without their fancy tech. Blue Bloods are all arguing now. Somebody throws a punch. You figure it's a good prank if a little mean-spirited. Folykl stops yanking at Kuprum's head and looks at you. Wow, you really are pretty basic. Hey Kuprum. She gives you his hair another yank, like reins, and he's her horse. Kuprum grins, showing a bunch of teeth, big blunt teeth. He raises his hand that crackles like with white hot energy. Your stomach clenches and you feel your feet leave the pavement just enough for your toes to drag along the ground and float over to them. For a few seconds you have zero control over your body. Kuprum lets you go and you land hard enough on your heels to make your ankles twinge. One of the flickering streetlights shines down on Folykl's face. What you have initially taken as a deep set of eyes are actually no eyes. They are black holes in her face. They look super creepy, almost super painful. Yeah, so what? Do you think I would just have eyes like some kind of normie? You would never accuse her of that. That isn't really what a word you would have in your lexicon. Lol. He keeps doing that, saying the word instead of just laughing. It's actually a hell of a power play. Goddamn idiot doesn't know a case of void route when they see it. Have you ever met a Google before? You have. You aren't sure if Sarava counts. They're an internet celebrity, and for one thing. For another, they have eyes. Well, one eye. The other one wasn't lost to void rot. Whatever the hell that is. You wonder if that's why she's on top of Kuprum. He's kind of like a combination of a steed and seeing eye dog. Void rot means my body doesn't retain energy like it's supposed to. Just look it up on Google. It means I'm dying constantly, all the time. You almost point out that technically everyone is dying all the time, but you sense this isn't the moment for fake, deep mess around nonsense. That really sounds like it blows, though. You tell her how sorry you are. What do you mean? Why? Why would you be sorry? You didn't do anything. Besides, stand there, looking ugly. Idiot thinks it makes a difference. Like what they think actually matters. Lol. Can't wait for Trizza to take this one down to the coal fields, like the little R for a little R&R. Rest and relaxation. Sounds nice, actually. Rampage and rendering. Ah. Wow. And here was me thinking we could get through a whole conversation without bringing up precious Trizza. Lol. Trizza rules. I love Trizza. I know, moron. You rack your recent memories, trying to figure out who, if you know what a Trizza is, or who. Trizza is basically a third member of this relationship, considering how goddamn horny you are to get her cybernetic tentacles up in your... wow. What? Is that supposed to make me feel bad? Sounds great, actually. You watch too much Eastern Alternian adult movies. It'll be way better than sitting around with you, always sucking me dry. This sure is something you're witnessing right now, right here. It must be that Black Rom stuff Zebra had briefly filled you in on. You can't hit and compliment them on their obviously incredibly healthy pitch romance they got going on there, here. Because as everyone knows, there's nothing to people that are in a lover's spat like more than someone interrupting them to spout random bits of cultural knowledge. That separates them, metaphorically at least. Physically, Folykl stays clinging onto Kuprum's back. Wrong again, moron. We're pale. So pale. Ah, pale. That's the nice one. The petting one, where you talk about your feelings and then don't do things. What? You got something to say? Cool. Let's go to the second choice. Nope. Not an override. We're not overriding. Number 5. Let's insult their relationship. Go for it. You mentioned just offhandedly, chill as hell, that maybe they don't have a few things they need to work on. No pressure or anything. Just, this is the sort of stuff that a helpful friend does. Mentions shortcomings in crappy relationship dynamics. Having friends is great. A light glitters on Kuprum's goggles. Even as it is sucked into the, even if it is stuck to the back of the black hole of Folykl's not eyes. You calling me out? You coming to my hive and spouting this nonsense? You point out that this is a trash heap, though you don't want to judge. He might have a trash hive. It's a figure of speech. It's a figure of speech, kind of like that. Yeah, that is definitely not a figure of speech. Both of them look annoyed, but Kuprum looks extra annoyed. I know what this is. You're out to steal my girl. You really think you can give Fall what she needs? What she craves? He's making it sound like a fetish, rather than a medical condition. Maybe it's both. You really want to come at me? The hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. That's how loud he yells. Maybe it's the crackling of energy slowly emanating from his paws and building like a sine wave. At first you think it's just you finally cracking under the pressure. What's really happening? The glow of white-hot electricity rolls up his arms and shoulders into Folykl, where it travels over the length of her body and centers where her eyes should be. She shivers and lets out a short, slightly lewd sound. Her hand tightens Kuprum's wild hair. Man, you really shouldn't be watching this. You're blushing something fierce. But okay. You think you get what's going on? A kind of a symbiosis. His energy overflows when he gets upset, and Folykl sucks it up the energy to treat void rot. He is her giant battery. You remember Sarava mentioning that powerful ghoul-bloods have a tendency to have hit harvests for their energy. Maybe Kuprum is the one those powerful psychics. Ah, he wishes. Chris is gonna chew him up and spit him out. Then I'm really gonna have to find another sucker to leech off. Folykl's looking at you, considering, well, you aren't actually sure if she can see you. Definitely not with her eyes, since she doesn't have those. Maybe she's like a cricket. Don't they have with their legs or something like that? What? This guy? Please. Sure. Why not? I'm getting sick of your nonsense anyway. Oh god, are they breaking up right in front of you? Folykl crawls down off Kuprum's back and starts across the filthy alley floor towards you. Scuttly like a bug. And now instead of yelling, Kuprum is snickering. Actually, laughter, not lols. That's a good sign, right? It's great when friends can laugh together, especially when things get awkward. You think you can power me? The way I need. Whoa, she's right in your face. She's actually she really needs a shower, but you don't have room to talk. It's been a long time since Dagora's absolution trap. Besides, judging someone based on their personal hygiene is shallow, right? It's what's on the inside that counts. Yeah. You're sure that's the sort of thing that makes you deep? Seriously, you have so much love to give. Friend love is what you're all about. Maybe this is what all this desperation has been leading up to. The slow rising of your friendship levels in order to reach the peak of unbelievable bro power. To free this young ghoul-blood of a codependent relationship, you've been conditioning your body, putting it through paces, building up a tolerance to nonsense, and just bathing in metaphorical resonance. Folykl kisses you. Wow, this is really friendly. Lots of people kiss their friends. You're pretty sure maybe? Yeah? You're super progressive. This is fine. You sort of wish that the first alien tongue you've had in your mouth didn't taste like Cheetos. But but you can't have everything in this life. But holy crap, you're doing it. You feel a rush of energy flow through you, lighting up your whole body and pouring into Folykl, filling her with the brim of the power she needs, the power she craves. Gods, you really are the best friend ever. It's you. You rock. You seriously? Lol. Oh. Lol lol lol. The best. Lol 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 lol. Oh. God damn it. You feel something warm on the back of your neck. And Kuprum is giggling right next to your ear. Somehow, while you were busy kissing his girlfriend, he snuck up behind you and started kissing you too. Well, maybe more just putting his mouth on you and moving his tongue around. He must be feeding psychic energy into you, which Folykl is sucking up out of your mouth. They're using you like a goddamn copper wire. You could maybe be into that if you went behind a dumpster. But if you were looking for anything more than some good old-fashioned wholesome friending, Kuprum, get lost. Don't help. You aren't involved in this. Kuprum is still laughing, and he added the lols back in, which you like even less when they're pressed against your neck. He steps back and the flood of energy lets up. You go from feeling like a light bulb to feeling like a steadily deflating balloon. Folykl kisses you again. It still tastes like Cheetos, but also like dying. Like your entire body is being placed into a juicer and a giant is squeezing down. Your muscles twitch and drool drips from the corner of your mouth. Folykl must be the only thing holding you up, because when she steps back, you slump on your knees. Then you go down on your side. You fall your fall is broken by some old rotten fruit. Cool. Folykl stands silhouetted against the streetlight in all her messy, greasy glory. Thanks, Normie. That'll hold me for maybe the next 15 minutes. A fog closes in on your as you lie in that filthy bathing. Is this the fog of death, or just the impending unconsciousness? You don't know? One thing is for sure, though. It isn't the fog of impending friendship. Well, that was definitely something. That's good thing that was not the good ending, I guess. Right. Glad you understand. You don't feel great about this. It's not cool to tell lies, especially not to your new friends. But it's also not cool to neg your brand new friends' relationship, especially when you don't know how any of this stuff works. Honestly, you should probably come up with some sort of nomadic. I'm giving up on that word. For just how little you know for anything at all. You don't know what that means. YDK W2M. You'll workshop it. Lol. You actually seem okay. Obviously for a huge normie freak, but okay. You wonder what kind of people Kuprum has been hanging out with if he thinks you look normal. At this point you're, what, dressed in a bathrobe, sunburned, slathered in sparkly lotion, and probably a bunch of other stuff you can't remember right now. His friends must look really wild. You hope whoever those friends are will be your friends too. You aren't picky about looks. The group of blue bloods on the street, maybe they could use some friends too. You're getting the vapors, just the thought of all these potential connections. You start around the dumpster to find out. Kuprum grabs the back of your shirt. Where do you think you're going? Eddie tries to make decisions for themselves. The decisions are bad. Nobody's surprised. You point out very respectfully that all these people look pretty lost and confused. You assume that the prank is over now. Everyone can shake hands and go on as friends. This is idiotic, considering what you've learned about Alternia up until now. Not a prank. This is war. It's not over until all of them are dead or crying. Well, okay. As long as you want one of the dead or crying, as long as you want the one dead or crying. None of the high bloods look too close to doing either, though. They are standing in a clump of the center of the street, nervous but fine. This is just a minor inconvenience, like a flat tire or a spilled coffee cup. A spilled cup of coffee. They have been lured into the slums by some greasy nerds. Folykl and Kuprum don't seem to plan on doing anything besides watching and giggling. One of the blue bloods, a smallish girl with a cerulean symbol on her hair clip, is standing a little apart from the group, furiously texting. the feeling when a dirty blue blood girl starts losing her cool. Should have known one of them would crack. You aren't sure what's going on. YASWG. Still not great. Regulars calling the damn drones. Usually high bloods wouldn't go running to them like that. Don't want to admit low bloods got one over on them. When you get owned, own it. That could be on a t-shirt. Folykl and Kuprum seem bummed that their prank is going to end up so fast, with a little damage done. But it isn't that the point of the prank? That everyone gets out of this relatively unscathed? Anything more than just becomes an assault. Overheard there is a whir and a clank. Loud, but not loud enough to prepare you for the damn flying bus coming and landing out of on the street. Holy crap. You don't think you could have been so excited about the public transportation. You were confident that continuing your ramble across the alien world is the best thing for you. But gosh, it would be nice to rest your feet for a little while. Even better, none of the trolls getting on the bus seem to be to have any money or travel passes. Perfect. You don't have any of those things either. You start around the trash pile again, this time 2 pairs of hands grab on the back of your shirt. Dude, where the hell are you going? You quickly explain that you want to catch the bus before it takes off again. You have no idea how long it's going to be before another one arrives. Folykl and Kuprum look at you like you're crazy. Well, Kuprum looks at you. Folykl looks kind of off over your shoulder. Can you call it looking of something? Can you call it looking if someone doesn't have eyes? Listen, I know we make jokes about the intelligence of everybody around us. It's just our thing. But you actually, but are you actually mentally handicapped? You can't just go on a chartered scuttle buggy. That's for ceruleans and up. Maybe teal, if they got a death wish. This damn hero spectrum thing again. You really need to someone to sit you down and explain exactly how all of this works. Preferably without calling you an idiot the whole time. Or hitting you. Or hitting on you, sorry. It just seems so arbitrary. At least the oppressive power structure from your planet makes sense. Well, no they don't, actually. But you're used to them, which makes them much better than more acceptable. You hang back as all the blue bloods get on the bus. It occurs to you that even though it was their prank that lured the blue bloods down here, Folykl and Kuprum had to watch it all unfold behind a dumpster. You don't dare do anything head on. Not that you support just randomly attacking people on the street, but it's kind of messed up that only a certain kind of violence is acceptable, aimed at a very specific direction. Judging from how easily Kuprum picked you up with his brain, he could hold his own in a fight, no problem. The bus takes off, blasting a backdrift that rattles the empty cans and crumple bits of garbage in the gutter. Stillness descends on the alley. Wow, that was anticlimactic. Kuprum said they were calling the drones, but a bus came instead. Maybe calling the drones can be a whole bunch of things. It can mean a whole bunch of things, like calling 911, and it can be like 911. Like calling 911 can be to report a robbery, assault, or someone's leg falling off. Or that's what you think until you hear the distant but quickly closing pound of a giant footsteps. Crap. Time to go. Folykl wraps her arms more securely around Kuprum and he takes off. Like literally takes off. At first you think he was wearing those shoes with little wheels at the bottom. Kind of like kids wear to crash into stuff at mall. But no, he's hovering a half inch off the ground. You have to run to keep up with him, and your steps are distressingly loud on the pavement. A familiar weightlessness shoots through your limbs, settling in your gut. Energy crackles around you, picking you up off the ground and pulling you along behind them. Sorry. He has enough power to float both of you at once, all while carrying his girlfriend on his back. You don't know much about physics, YDK MAP, but that is pretty damn impressive. There are three of you around a corner, and you forget all about being impressed because you're too busy freaking the hell out. You were busy worrying about the drone coming from behind you, that you didn't consider the possibility of one closing in front of you. This is a smallish, but still a lot bigger than you. This one is smallish, but it's still a lot bigger than you, and a lot spinier, and a lot more endowed with dangerous lasers. And it focuses them all on the three of you instead of someone else. So you, Folykl, and Kuprum make a similar noise. It goes a little bit like smash. The smash at the end comes from Kuprum picking up all three of you with his brain and tossing you, just as the drone shoots a laser out of its torso. It blasts the pavement where you had been standing into craggy smokes of chunks. You tumble feet over behind into the alley wall. Concerning pain twinges through your healing ribs. But you are just so used to the injuries at this point you barely wince. What's more concerning is Folykl. The blast rips her off of Kuprum and sends her into the opposite direction, against the alley wall, with you. She immediately curls up into a ball, like a pillbug with a lot of hair. She doesn't respond when you ask her if she's okay, and you aren't sure if you should touch her. You shouldn't move injured people, right? Especially not injured people with Void Rock. I'm fine. I'll live. Oh crap. The drone has a 50-50 chance of coming in your direction instead of Kuprum's, and surprise, it did. It moves altogether way too fast for something that size. Aren't big things supposed to be slow? That's what video games taught you. Video games wouldn't lie, would they? Crap. Hell. You've come all this way, dodged so many dangers, and you made so many friends, and now you're just gonna get lasered by some huge spiky robot monster thing? Are they even robots? They kind of look organic. So do like the couches here. But you digress. It's going to kill you. But instead of dealing you a quick fatal blow, the drone tops the center of the street. Its big, ugly head swivels towards Folykl. Oh god. Is it possible you found someone more killable than you are? Alternia definitely doesn't seem like a great place for the weakest link. As usual, you're next to useless. All you can do is watch as the drone takes heavy steps towards her. Desperate, you kick a nearby trash can. You shout, and you make as much noise as you can, trying to draw its attention once you have it. You aren't sure what you're going to do with it, but you aren't worried about that right now. The drone grinds to an uncertain halt. Its head slowly turns towards you, then back to Folykl. It can't make up its mind. Should it go for Void Rot, or the noisy person? You look around for weapons. While it's frozen in indecision, there's nothing here but empty bottles and a tiny piece of concrete. You really are a worthless wreck. Your new friend is about to get stomped or blasted or kicked with a giant metal leg, and all you can do is hop around like a maniac and smack a trash can. Damn. Luckily, for once you aren't the only one here. Your new friend already has a friend. You're really friend crashing here. Kuprum doesn't screw around. He raises up on a wave of crackling power, attacking the drone by, well, basically just putting his hand on its big ugly head and discharging as much energy as possible, frying whatever brainstem that thing has. You try and you tried to be at least a little bit useful and drag Folykl away from the drone as it falls. But it doesn't fall, it just shuts down. The evil red glow in its eye dies, and it goes still. It's because it becomes just as a giant ugly statue of a alien robot in the middle of a filthy street. Kuprum drops like a rock, and before he's even out of the air, he's on his way to Folykl. He shoves you out of the way. Folykl, are you okay? Please say you're okay. What the hell, Folykl? Folykl buries her face into Kuprum's chest, her two little fists clenching tight onto his arms. Her shoulders rise and fall. She's taking huge breaths, like she can't get her lungs to work right. Do trolls even have lungs? They probably call them something weirdly respiratory sacs. Breath glands? Suck sphincters. I'm fine, idiot. You had a snide comment all ready to go, considering and appreciating your loved ones while you can before a big metal monster comes and squishes them. But sitting here and watching Kuprum Folykl like he never wants to let her go, well, all your snidness drains into a puddle at your feet. You don't know them. You don't know their life. Their relationship might not be the healthiest, but honestly, whose is? You've seen some really bad stuff, both here and back home. Hey, you okay, Doc? Yeah, you really are. Thanks for that. Hooray! Friendship with two people this time. Yeah. Thank you for sticking around with that one. That was the end of Volume 6, so hopefully we can see what Volume 7 has in store. Yeah. Again, thank you for stopping by with that one. Goodbye.